Hello and welcome back to Guru Grit. My name is Monica. So love answering your questions. So today I wanted to do a very simple, straightforward technique or process, or whatever makes you feel better, to think about or to use regarding one's employment situation, because I see that things in the world are shifting towards more mobility and opportunity after a bit of a slumber, a global slumber. So, would you like to attract a job? And how do you attract a job? But this question is more geared towards people who have been so far not seeing the evidence of a job coming into their experience. So let's say that you've been unemployed for 2 years or a year or longer. Apply to 100, 200 places. How can you go from that feeling to a feeling of having a job? So very easily, let's get into it right away. I don't like wasting time and long-winded introductions just give me the creeps. I can't stand them, so let's do it. Let's suppose you're going to try the Neville Goddard technique. You're going to imagine it as though it is done. You're not imagining, it's very rare I tell you not to do something, but you're not imagining applying to a job. You're not imagining putting on a suit. You're not imagining going to the interview. You're not imagining shaking hands after the interview. You're not imagining signing your contract after receiving an offer or acceptance. No. Things can still fall through in the interim. This is where you are. This is where you want to be. To imagine any of the aforementioned, it places you somewhere here, and you can still fall through. You want to go from here to here. So what you're going to do is lie down, take a few deep breaths, relax, 30 seconds, okay? It doesn't have to be an hour, 30 seconds. Just clear your head and start to imagine that you are at work. Imagine the building. It's a regular day. It's the most natural thing in the world for you to stroll into that office or open your laptop at home, work for that company, work for yourself, be a consultant, anything. You are now gainfully employed. It's done. So from that place of already having that thing, you will imagine, and then when you're satisfied, so you're not now getting anxious, you're not tense, you're not problem solving, you're not getting into arguments with coworkers, stop. You're only imagining things you actually want. You will just release that thought and let it go. You'll either fall asleep, which is like the most powerful thing you can do. If you could fall asleep in that state, consider the seed planted. Your subconscious is fertile, it's receptive, it's feminine. Planted it into fertile earth, it will grow in its rightful time. Otherwise, take a few deep breaths, think about something else, and continue about your day. Get up and keep doing what you're doing, okay? If you do it in the morning, if you do it at nighttime, even better, just a few seconds. Try to get into that image. Now, in your day-to-day life, we have to address the obvious. You still have to apply for jobs. So how do you do it? How do you do it? If it makes you feel powerless, judged, frantic, rushed, and urgent to apply for something, that is not the time to apply. I'm not saying that's not the job for you, but really, if that's the state that you're in, you're only going to evoke more of it by putting action behind that energy. But you have to be productive. So I would say, in the moments where you feel steady in yourself, in your vibration, power apply. Go for 10 applications in one day, 50, it doesn't matter. But hit the ground running. That way, if the next day you're feeling kind of sorry for yourself or you're panicking about your finances, you're not putting more of that energy out, because you know the day before you did a hell of a lot. So you can take a day to take a breather. What I would certainly not do is tell anyone. If you see a job you really like and you get so excited about it, just don't tell anyone. Don't tell them. Tell them after the fact. Envision yourself telling them, hey, I got the job. Can you believe it at this place? Yeah, I didn't tell you, applied last month. Amazing. Don't tell anyone. Why? Yes, they might sabotage it with their doubt because you're observing them and you let it influence you. Or sometimes, like if it's a partner, if it's a parent, they want it for you so badly that their urgency and tense feeling around that scenario, like, I so want you to get it, baby. Oh, my little baby boy, my baby girl, whatever. Oh, they're out in the world. Please, God, please, please, please let them have those. Please, they worked so hard. They fought for so long. They studied for so... Ugh. It poo-poos your vibration. It just takes a dump over everything you did before you opened your mouth and spoke that sentence. Keep it to yourself. I would say envision in your mind you telling them, guess where I just came back from? My first day at work. Guess where I just came back from? I'm done my week of training. You went to training for a week? Yeah, I just didn't want to tell you until I was sure. I just finished my probation. It's been 3 months. Now the other thing, so that's the first thing, is like really consider not telling someone. Envision you telling them that it's done. If you want to take it another step, say you have, your mom is really supportive, or your wife is really supportive, your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, best friend, neighbor, mentor, whoever. Envision them celebrating with you. So you're calling them, you're telling them, like, I'm taking you out to dinner, so you're sitting there, you're having a steak or some sushi, and they're like, I knew you would get it. I knew you could do it. I knew it. So envision people celebrating with you after the fact. You're not celebrating the interview. You're not celebrating the application. You're celebrating what's already done. You're already promoted. You already got the contract. You already nailed the client. You got it. It's done. Finally, last thing you will not be doing for yourself or to anybody else is discussion of rejection. I fully understand, as you're applying for jobs, the daily onslaught sometimes feels like an avalanche of rejection, automated emails. Hello, faceless, nameless person. Whoever works in this office never really read this because they already knew they were going to hire their neighbor's cousin. But, for the sake of diplomacy, you poor little turd, you went ahead and applied because you thought, and it just makes you feel that small, condescending and tiny. And then you feel bad. So you want comfort. So you tell your friend, you tell your whoever, and then you wallow together. But the more people you bring into that vibration, it holds you there much more steadily. Yes? This is why some people who become famous on some off chance, some event, are so convinced by themselves and the people around them they deserve to be there. No matter how atrocious every movie they go on to do, flop every song they put out, utterly irrelevant they are in terms of creative capacity. They never fall from grace because they're so convinced of their own greatness, because the people around them add fuel to that fire. So, be the same way. The next time you get an email saying some really copy-pasted whatever, delete, check your phone, like it never happened. Don't let it in your vibration, and certainly don't speak a word of it to someone else, because they're gonna wanna comfort you. But if you already got the job, what are they comforting you for? It's contradicting itself. That vibration is now going to war. So you've stopped your desire dead in its tracks by acknowledging the death of that desire. Then you'll come watch something like this, try and apply again, put yourself in a good mood, and then an hour later when you get another email, so you're just constantly going like this. You have to persist in the belief that it is done. Just take a week of your life. It costs you nothing. This is free. You have nothing to lose. I will be your hype woman. Tell me. I will blast it. Just give it a week. Don't criticize yourself for 1 week. Okay? Vibration goes and flows everywhere. Time and space mean nothing. The resume is fine. You're qualified. You have what it takes. The hiring committee has a vibration. It has a thought form. There's people there. They're emitting a signal. They want a person just like you. And you're sitting there. You can't catch the signal because you're feeling sorry for yourself. Because you're impatient, because you're stressed out, because you're scared, because you're looking at your bills, because you're looking at the facts of the world. Just give it a week. Give it a week. 3 days, okay, but try a week. Where every time you get an email that says something you don't want it to say, just say, okay, it's temporary, and anyways, it's done. This means nothing. Just consider it like getting it after the fact. Say, oh, but I've already been hired at that place, so it doesn't really matter if that place rejected me. Like if it was true, and it is, you wouldn't care. You would feel completely neutral. So feel neutral in the now. I would suggest for everyone, generally good life advice for everybody, only react to things that positively influence you. You know? Don't let anybody get a stronghold over your vibration. Be the ruler of your own kingdom or queendom. So that's how I would treat it. I'd be like, oh, whatever, YouTube doesn't want to hire me. What does it matter? I work at this tech place now. That hospital rejected me as a nurse. Oh, but I already got hired there last. Oh, you know what? They read my resume, but I got hired at that other place 2 days ago. They poor things, they don't know. Shameful for them. Consider it like that. Consider it done. It is done. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you use this to propel yourself into a place of feeling more empowerment. I hope it makes sense to you. So treat it as though it's done and ignore everything that doesn't serve you, i.e. rejection letters. You know how much thought you should put into those? As much thought as it took for that automated bot to send it out to you. Less than nothing. And why should it? Because you already got hired where you wanted to be anyways. I hope it makes you feel better. I hope that you prosper, and now as times change and we move into a different setting for what a work life will look like, certainly where I live, I hope that we can all manage to enjoy this new unfolding and this new experience together. So thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.